Hello, Life Story peeps. I'm back with another Life Story story. So, this was another adventure that we had that came from using and writing my life story. So, for about 10 years, I wanted to take my kids on a trip, a road trip, across the United States to go see some historical sites. Our family, we're homeschoolers, so we're kind of history buffs, and I always think it's funner to see things in person than just read about it in a book. So I'd had this dream for a long time, but it was a little bit overwhelming. And at the time, my husband and I were both working jobs. I couldn't see any way that we could get off of work to do it, and I didn't even have the presence of mind to know how to figure out how much gas it would take us to drive that far, how we would make those arrangements, and it just seemed like it was one of those things that was totally impossible. So, but I wrote it in my life story that we go across the U.S. to go visit these historical sites. And then I just kind of forgot that it was in there. I didn't do anything with it. Well, a few months go by, and my son was graduating from boot camp on the other side of the continent. So I get this harebrained idea that I should go and surprise him for his graduation. And I won't tell him that I'm coming, and no, he would never suspect it, because this isn't the kind of thing that we do. We're not this spontaneous. We don't have this much fun. So that was the old story that I used to tell about that. So I had a friend who devised a plan for me to earn a little bit of money, and some of my friends would go in on it. We actually set up this really, it was kind of a game, to raise the money for me to be able to go there and surprise him. And it totally worked, except for that once I had that much money raised from my airfare, I thought, I wonder what it would take, how much more I would need to just drive my whole family across the country. So we ended up doing that. My dad came with us because he's a super good sport. He wanted to make sure we were all okay driving across the country by ourselves. So he came with us, and as we got looking at the map, we thought, okay, we'll drive across Texas, we'll go along that way. He goes, but if we come back the other way, some of those historical sites will be just within 40 minutes out of the way. So when we saw that, he says, well, do you think we can adjust our time frame? We could extend our trip just long enough that we could take some days and go visit those sites. And I thought, for that kind of opportunity, of course we will not pass that up. We will make that work. And so that's what happened. So as I'm driving across the country, and the plans are changing day by day as we're going, they're unfolding, it becomes apparent we are going to go visit those sites. I'm going to go take my kids to do that thing that's been on my bucket list for at least a decade that I have no idea how to do, and now it's going to happen pretty much by accident, and it wasn't even part of our itinerary when we left. And so we did that, and we got to visit those places. We took photos. It was like a magical experience. It was so cool. And it wasn't until almost we were finished with it that I remembered I had written that in my life story. I had written that I take my kids to go visit those historical sites. And here we were. We did it on accident, but not really. And that is the power of life story.